there, welcome back to Out of the Vault, the series where I try to make something new with some old stuff. Today we're going to do an art journal page, and I've got some old stamps here. I've got some fancy pants, and I'm going to use this Prima. It's called Elementals 1 Messy. It's kind of just like script, and it's very non-distinct. You can't read or anything. It's just scripty stuff. So let's make an art journal page. We're going to work on some watercolor paper. Let's see. Let's pull a big one out. Yes. This is 5 by 7. We're just gonna get some 5 by 7 paper out. So this is BBE watercolor paper. If I can get it out of there. All right, so I've got some watercolor paper here. And I think we're gonna turn this way. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to scribble some color all over this. I've got these art crayons. They're water soluble. These are from Michael's, and I would pick them up like off the clearance rack, or when they were on, you know, you'd walk in, you'd see they were on sale. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color to this page. And then I'm going to wet it and just kind of move it around. Yeah, see, clearance. Let's use this color. Oh, haven't opened this one yet. So let's see here. We've got terracotta, caramel, aqua green. I don't think I want to put that pink in there. Now let's add a little bit of this darker green. This is khaki. I'm just going to take a wet paintbrush. And this should retain some texture because this is really heavily textured watercolor paper. And we're just going to move this around, blend it out. Our colors to blend a little bit. I'm going to add a little more of that green in there, I think. Let's terracotta out. That's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go dry this and I'll be right back. Alrighty, now we're dry. Now you see there's all this texture on here, and this kind of looks a mess right now, but the way this looks right now doesn't matter a whole lot to me because this is background. We're gonna paint and do things over it. So next, I'm gonna use one of these corner flourishes. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's gonna be this fella. Now I need my giant fancy pants block, or this giant fancy pants stamp. And I'm gonna stamp using archival ground espresso. So it's a distress ink color, but in archival ink. And this is not gonna come out perfect, and that's okay. And then I'm going to flip this around, do the same thing over here. So there we go. See how that background's coming along? Now I'm going to go in with the Prima scripty stamp and some archival black soot, just randomly all over this page here. And I'm not even going to put it on a block. little bits, random. And that's all I'm going to do with that. So you're just building up layers. And I mean flat layers too, right? There's no dimension here. It's all flat. I'm going to go back in with this, with the black soot, and stamp again. I'm going to position it differently. There we go. Next, I'm going to get some gesso. Well, that didn't sound nice, did it? And I'm going to use my paintbrush here and kind of smooth it out. And I've got these are really old. Ranger texture tools. And we're going to put some gesso on here. And drag it around. And I'm just going to take what's left. I'm just going to wipe it on here. I go with my wet brush. Kind of mess some of those marks up a little bit. So we're kind of diffusing some of the bright color on this background and adding some marks all at the same time. Okay, let's get this dry and see how it turned out. All right, so that's nice and dry. Now I'm going to start creating a focal point. I've got this circle stencil because I can't do a circle to save my life, and a black paint pen and a white paint pen. We're just going to make some circles over here, kind of down towards the right with the paint pen. And then we'll do a smaller one. And another smaller one. I'm making them kind of messy. I want them to be circles, but I don't necessarily want them to be pristine circles. So I'm going to go dry this white paint and then do the same thing with the black. Go around, make some messy circles. Then we'll go dry this. I'm going to go into this circle with a little more of the terracotta. A little more color in there. And I'm trying to wipe it off of the white, just with my wet brush. And then I'm gonna go in, I have to shake this, why did I do that? And this black one, and add some of the green. Go into that one too. And then we'll go into this black one with the turquoise. There, little extra color in there. Now for some focal images, I pulled out some Tim Holtz ephemera and stuff. You know, these are all a couple of years old. So I want to use this butterfly, but you can see a little too much of that back there. So I'm going to put a little white gesso on the back just so that that background doesn't detract from it. And it's just going to, just a little bit. It's not something that has to be beautiful, because it's just to kind of keep the background from showing too much through the clear parts. Yeah, see? That'll be much better. And then I'm going to glue that down with Bear Glue. Bear Glue. Always, always Bear Glue. Of course, you could use glossy accents for this too, if you would like. Put him on those circles at an angle. And then for my words, we're going to use Go Where Your Heart Takes You. And I'm going to put Bear Glue on this because these stickers, they're lovely, but they do not like to stay stuck to textured things or slippery things. And then my final step, I'm going to use some dots of liquid pearls just kind of around the focal point. We've got Bahama Bay, Succulent, and Deep Water. Dots here and there. Then we'll use Bahama Bay. Always start them off your project to make sure they're going to come out. And then last but not least, Succulent. Gotta get a little green in there. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna get cleaned up and I'll see you when this is dry. Alrighty, here's this week's Out of the Vault project. I did a little art journal page. This is 5x7 watercolor paper. And I realized once it was too late that my sentiment is not on straight. But you know what? It's an art journal page. I'm not going to stress about it. No, I am not. Everything I used on this page is at least a few years old. So that worked out well. But my items of focus were these stamps. So we've got a little Prima Elements stamp and Fancy Pants. Very, very old. These are like circa 2010, 11 corner stamps that make, they're huge, right? So they're for 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, so they make great background helpers. We colored the page with these water-soluble crayons. These are from Michaels. They're like $3.99 a piece, I think, but I wait till they're on the clearance rack and I get them for $1.99. Or when they're like buy two, get one free, that type of thing. I colored the whole page with those, with just scribbled them on and then water, and then stamped with the Fancy Pants stamps and archival ink. Add a little gesso, did some circles with some paint pens, and then for our image, I used a Tim Holtz transparency butterfly and Tim Holtz word sticker, which again is not straight, but it's okay. And then for a little bit of shine and bling, we used liquid pearls, and these are, you know, these are a few years old, but such pretty colors. So we got Bahama Bay, Succulent, and Deep Water, and I love Bahama Bay. That's probably my favorite liquid pearls color. I'm not even kidding. So y'all have a lovely day. Remember, be excellent to each other and go make something. Bye-bye.